Welcome to the second Pain Management Live Question and Answer event. We're so glad that you're here. We're thankful for all of our sponsors and all of the panelists that are here, and we're thankful for you. Thank you for being here. So, let's see. We're now going to have our vendors take a moment to introduce themselves. If you do just take like a minute to just say your name and your business. And make sure you speak up so everybody can go around the room. We'll start right here with Angie.
Good afternoon. Excuse my voice, it happened yesterday. My name is Angie Morris. I'm Kim's cousin. I am with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Our theme is we enrich women's lives. We're no more than lipstick. We're skincare, fragrance. We're the whole woman in Mary Kay. So come and fill out our form. You can win a gift today and take the business cards.
And one thing she told me is, what was that? That your age is your business, but
your age is your business, but how you look is my business.
I like that.
So we don't want you to look your age once you look younger.
Well, welcome, Angie. Thank you so much. Next, we have Miss Jonica.
Hi, I'm Jonica Rowland, and I help you to focus on your benefits. Benefits are very important. Life, health, and supplemental retirement, critical illness, and cancer expense. And I look forward to talking to you later. Jonica Rowland of the Rowlands Group.
Wonderful. That is a very important part of our life, and sometimes people forget that we need to be not only planning for this life, but when we're gone on, so it's not a burden for our families. So thank you. We're glad you're here. And next up, we have
Tammy Benson. I do look good, feel good. So you want to kind of add accessories to your outfit. It can be a plain outfit, but you know, pearls, I specialize in that, and that can bring out any outfit. So Sheeta's fashionable jewelry, like a cheetah, so Sheeta's. Tammy Benson. And I've been in business for like 5 years, and I also teach nutrition.
My name is Latrell Jenkins with Home Sweet Home Desserts. I make homemade desserts. I do weddings, I do birthdays, I do theme cakes, all kinds of cakes. I also do diabetic and gluten-free desserts as well. If you have any kind of sensitivities, I will make you something for that. I've been doing this most of my life, and it's something I enjoy, so stop by the table and partake.
So welcome everyone to Authors and Art Studio. This is a part of what I do is actually what you see. I do artwork. I actually do paint parties as well, private and public. I do a lot of collaborations with small businesses to help to get their brand out there and get them some, build up their brand and their exposure as well. I'm into a couple different businesses, but they're all community focused, trying to get some wellness products out into the community. Art is very therapeutic. So that is my #1 product I try to get into the community, is getting people to actually express themselves, get creative, and try art. That's all.
and y'all smell that scent. I know y'all smell that scent.
Yeah, I try to make sure the whole vibe, when you walk in here, I really want you to be relaxed and calm, no judgment zone. We just have fun and just express ourselves however we are expressing ourselves. That's what this building is for.
Yes, and it's
Kimberly Winborn LLC, and then Design Evolution Creations, which Design Evolution Creations, we've been catering and event planning since 2007, and we focus on leadership events more so than like weddings and things like that, conferences and things like that. And we made the dip, the spinach dip today, so that's me.
So, as a reminder, we are here today to learn about alternative and complementary pain management tools, and of course, learn of resources. So, if you have questions, please make sure, if you didn't get a postcard here, an index card, just let me know if you need one. You can write your questions down as you think of them, and then at the end we will have a question and answer period. No question is, not important or dumb. And we are going to do our best to answer all of the questions. So please keep that in mind. We want to hear your questions. So first up, we will have EJ, who is a personal trainer, and he is from Righteous Training. And he's just gonna take a couple minutes to just tell us about what he does as a personal trainer and equate that to pain. So welcome, EJ.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm Coach EJ Williams, the CEO of Righteous Personal Training. Training the mind and the body will follow. I want to break down training the mind just a little bit to show you how I incorporate handling the mind, body, and soul to relieve some stress through fitness. Mentally, through fitness, we will be emotionally aware.
Yeah.
So, do we all have kids in here?
Yeah.
Do we all want to look good and feel good in here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what I do is bring out the vital, the most important, the utmost principles and manifest them through fitness by creating a positive atmosphere of love and nutrition and explaining these aspects of life of how we can redirect them through a fitness aspect. So I have one-on-one personal training, soul camps, which are a group training. I also have a credit repair program that I'm utilizing now to help our people just come a whole as a community to feel good about themselves. So it's basically to push our young women chest back and chin up so they can love themselves, to spread the love down to the most important in the room, the kids. So that's what I do. Also have meal preps as well to just bring our community back and shine a little light so we all can just love each other. Yes. Again, this is training the mind and the body will follow. So it's a mental aspect that you have to train of your mind, and there is a physical part of your body that you have to train your mind in order for it to be conditioned so it can perform, so we can get our credit right. Black, yellow, red, green, blue, brown. Everybody in here want to see a little bit more green. No matter what. So, it's 2 ways to make money. Does anybody know? Question, hand, can I get a hand? Show of hands, 2 ways to make more money. 2 ways, that's 1 way. 2 ways to make more money. 2 ways to make more money.
Increase your value in the marketplace.
2 ways to make more money.
Legally and illegally.
Passive and active.
Passive. There's 2 ways to make more money. It is to do what? There's 2 ways to make money. Make more, spend less. So by creating, getting your credit right and managing, what we need in order just not to have that little money left over, and creating a savings program and managing everything that we need so we can take care of what we need, which is the little ones most important. So let's love ourselves, let's love each other, let's love what we do, let's train right. This is Righteous Personal Training. Again, I'm Coach EJ Williams. Train the mind, the body will follow. Mentally through fitness, we will be emotional. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
That we're here to help you. A lot of times when people hear about insurance and finance, what do? Shut down. Shut down, okay? Or they want us to show them a way to hopefully help them, per se, beat the system. Okay? And the system is to focus on our health so that later in life we will have our wealth, we can enjoy it and leave it to our loved ones, as the brother just said. So I'm Jonica Rowland. I'm working on my doctorate. Believe in God, I'll have it completed this December. It is a, thank you. And it is a retirement and a marketing study. And what does retirement and marketing have to do with each other? Financial advisors and insurance agents and other financial specialists need to learn how to reach more people so that more people will understand benefits. My first experience with pain was when I was, before I was 10, I used to suffer severely with migraine headaches. I didn't know what they were because later in life I was misdiagnosed with sinusitis. Okay, so that means I had a world of being on the incorrect medicine. Okay, but then I had to come to grips with myself, had to change my life, and then I learned to focus on my health, do my research, so that I would know what would work for me. And so after I got rid of all the side effects and whatnot, and dealt with having counseling because I lost my mom when I was 10. She was murdered. And so along with that, there was the stress of life, the misdiagnosis, and being a big sister to my baby brother who was in a lot of pain too because of some incidences that occurred. Okay. And then I have my father who's 77 and he's financially independent. And along the way, as we mature in years, I won't just say age, but as we mature in years, there's some challenges. But he knew his benefits. And by him knowing his benefits, he's financially independent at age 77. So all I had to be concerned about is estate taxes for myself, okay, and whatnot, and be there to listen to my dad. And this is what benefits can do for you. In the event you're in pain, it is very important for you to start reviewing the benefits that you have in the event you want to go to the medical doctor, the chiropractor, or take another holistic approach. If you have money, how many can say money? Money. You can go ahead and get the healing you want, even if it's just to go to the mountaintops. And that's where the benefits come into play. So I always tell everyone, review your life insurance policy to see if there's a critical illness, cancer expense, okay, or a cash value component to it, so that you can use that money wisely instead of digging all into your emergency fund and your retirement fund. Because how many of you know we're going to live? Let me hear you say it. L-I-V-E. So at the end of the day, when the pain is gone, okay, when you bounce back from layoffs and other obstacles that may come your way, you still are going to be living, and you're still going to need what? Money. M-O-N-E. Okay, money. And money is not our God, but it does answer a lot of things. That's according to the book of Ecclesiastes. So I'm here today to offer you a complimentary benefits review. My number is on the handout in the bags. I also have my cards there, and I would love to get each and every one of you your phone number and your contact information so that you can review your benefits. We don't necessarily have to sell you benefits, but if you're not aware of your benefits and how to use them, you're just having them, and that's your goal that could be in your backyard, right? So benefits are very important. There's the life insurance, there's the health insurance, there's the critical illness component, where if somebody's critically ill, they can take a lump sum benefit to get healed, right? Then there's the cancer expense. All these benefits here, there are retirement plans, 401k plans, supplemental insurance for plans. They're here. There's long-term care insurance. A lot of people are forgetting about long-term care insurance. That long-term care insurance is just saying if your rich uncle's not going to take care of you and your child is in Japan, you have long-term care insurance to get the help you want. If you need a chauffeur, or if you need someone to move in, or you want to stay in an exquisite retirement community because your health is bad, the doctor just say you need some help, okay, you have money. Let me hear you say money, M-O-N-E. Why? Money. You have money to use. So I do have handouts in the bag. They're like this. I have some on the table, and we are independent agents, so I would love for you to contact me. I would love to talk about my doctoral research so that you can hear what the financial advisors are saying. I would love for you to accept my offer of a complimentary insurance review, and let's look at other benefits. Let's make sure you have your wills, your estate planning up to speed, so that all that hard-earned money will not go in vain because you put it on the house, but you did not leave enough insurance for the relatives to pay for that house, okay? Or if someone's in pain, but they don't have enough finances to deal with the pain because they're in the daily rut, Okay, so let's make sure we put our heads together, come together, and focus on what we do have, not necessarily what we don't have. Because if you're breathing, you have a lot. And I'm so excited for Kimberly. I appreciate you hosting this event. I'm so excited for her taking the time to want to share and not be selfish. Because a lot of times people are delivered from situations, whether it be poverty or poor health or other situations, they are not sharing, okay? And we just want to thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much, and we want you to keep going, keep writing more books, and help people to understand wellness and healing and being delivered from pain. Because I tell you, those migraine headaches kept me from making my first degree on time. But I'm grateful I'm on my 3rd degree, and I've managed pain. I'm still exercising. And I'm not in New York City. I hope to see you on the next hiking event so I can show you what I'm made out of. Thank you, and schedule your appointment today.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Chris and Krishana, who are chiropractors, they're going to come up and talk with us about a little about what they do and how that relates to pain and other very good stuff that they're going to share with us.
Yes,
So welcome, Chris and Krishana.
I apologize for our tardiness. I got to I got a paper published this spring and it got presented at this little thing in South Carolina, so that's why research. Oh, the research paper was about a lady who got in a car accident 9 years before she started care. She lost her sense of smell, and that was 9 years ago. And the research states that after about a year or so, you usually don't regain your sense of smell spontaneously. After 5 months of chiropractic care, she started smelling it again, and she still has that smell today. And it's just a really, really cool study because the research shows that after a year or so, that's kind of it. You're not going to be able to smell again. But to have it happen 9 years after the accident is pretty amazing. So it's a really cool case study that I got to write up. But yeah, so chiropractic. When you cut your finger, it's bleeding, right? You clean it off, you put a Band-Aid on it. A week or so goes by, you pull the Band-Aid off, it's all healed up, right? What's doing the healing? Is the Band-Aid doing the healing? Right. The body is a self-healing, self-regulating, self-organizing organism. What it is, it heals itself. It has that natural ability and power to heal itself when everything's working correctly. Okay? You get a rubber band? I know you always got one.
You want to cover?
So again, with my finger, everything looks great. It's flowing, it's moving. The blood's flowing through it. I have feeling in my finger. I put this rubber band on it, right? It's gonna let it sit here for a long period of time. What's gonna happen? It'll start turning blue. If I don't take it off, eventually it's gonna fall off, right? So chiropractors, what we do is we remove the interference in the spine. I can throw medication at this. I can stretch it. I can try to yoga it out. I can try to change my diet. I can cut it open. But if I throw all these things at it, that rubber band's still there. It's still not allowing for the blood to go through to the finger, right? So as chiropractors, what we do is we remove the interference to the spine. And when we remove that interference, it allows the body to flow. It allows the brain to communicate through the spinal cord, out through the nerves. It allows you to heal as you're supposed to. That's what chiropractic's all about. Yeah, we do an amazing job with back pain, neck pain, headaches, and all that. But chiropractic, that's what chiropractic's all about. Being able to allow yourself to heal as God has allowed it to be. Yeah, that's where I want to start out at.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Chris. So,
something we can take from that is that we all are capable of healing ourselves. Who here believes that? Alright, thank you. And so what changes in our mind? How do we start to not believe it? We start to have symptoms, we start to experience pain, and things continually build up. And so then we start to give, like Kim was talking about, giving our power away to our doctors, giving our power away, and not being able to do research, own up, and start changing things in our life. I know it's so difficult to think about, like, oh, you know, this is easy. These are patterns that we're doing, say, eating something and, you know, it doesn't digest well, and so you add Tums or whatever new things they have that you can aid in digestion, or driving and we're sitting in a car and the back support isn't there, and then we get out the car with back pain, or we're sleeping in our beds and our pillows we haven't changed for who knows how long, and we wake up with those cricks in our neck. We start to no longer believe that we're able to heal ourselves because of this constant chronic continuation of pain that we have. But with chiropractic, we always preach the message of we are intelligently designed with whomever, you know, you may believe in, universal intelligence, God, creator. We weren't created to be sick and in pain and suffering. That's not what we were created for. We have a higher purpose. Sometimes these tools may be utilized to take us to a different path, one that we may not have thought of for ourselves, but it kind of leads us into that direction. But I say this all to say that pain is a motivator, right? It encourages us to take action to change something that we've been doing. So with chiropractic, that's one way that we address, how Chris was saying, we address the interference that's occurring. So at some point where pain was produced, there was an interference that says, okay, this is what's happening. Let's stop before she continues to hurt herself, or him, he continues to hurt himself, and let's protect this area. So now we're going into protecting this part of your body, right? So you may feel pain, you will feel some type of symptoms, sleepiness, grogginess, irritable bowel, constipation, migraines, neck pain, tension, all the other things, because that's your protective mechanism. Our bodies, they can't talk to us in a language that we can understand, so they only do what they know best, is for our survival. So we're born to survive. That's our sole purpose. We come here, we survive, we continue on. So with chiropractic, again, we believe in that universal intelligence that created us, that has brought us all the way through this path. And because our body is protecting us, it created an interference that causes a symptom. So chiropractors, we remove that interference, so then you're able to heal yourselves. And we want everyone to function at 100% health, because that's what we're here for, right?
I mean, there's no ceiling to how good you can feel.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely
There's
not.
no ceiling to how good you can really feel if you really think about it.
Like
You can
whoever
feel
said, like,
better,
oh, I feel so
better.
good today, like something's wrong.
You know?
Like why?
I don't know what I'm doing. No, you're fine. Anyways, so with your nervous system, it's how you perceive your reality. Your nervous system, your brain, your spinal cord, it's how you see, it's how you hear, it's how you taste food, it's how you digest food, it's how you walk, it's how you talk. It does everything in your body. The brain communicates with the rest of the body through the spinal cord, through the nerves, right? So if there's a little tension in there, that communication from the brain to the rest of the body can get distorted. If it gets distorted, it's kind of like you want to listen to 95.7 radio station, that's your station. But there's this little distortion that happens in the body because something's out of alignment. It's going to change the station a little bit. You're not going to get that message clearly. You know, you'll start getting another station, get into like the country music station. Like, what the hell? This is like jazz, and you know, and then it's like going in and out. So that message from the brain to the body is getting distorted. So if it's getting distorted, well, you know, things in the body will start showing up as pain, sickness, different things like that. So by releasing that tension, moving the bones back to where they're supposed to, it's going to allow for that message to be clear as day, flow through the body, get things done, heal as you should, live the life the way that you should, and just rock out. We're here to be awesome. We're here to be amazing. We're here to like just express ourselves and who we are without having any of this pain or things that hold you back. It's just we're here to have fun and serve others, serve the people around you, and just enjoy life. But yeah, I love Kim's story. I've heard that story like 10 times probably, and every time it's just so amazing and powerful. And for her specifically, the pain that she went through. You know, at that time it wasn't ideal for her. But look at who she is now.
Yes,
Pain's there for whatever reason, why it's in your life, it's there for a reason. It's to make a change. When you have pain, it's there for change. Whether that's changing something within your life or helping change other people's lives. It's there for a reason. Don't ignore pain. Jeez, it's there for a reason. Listen, your body's telling you something that you're not supposed to hurt. Listen. Whether it's taking the wallet out of your back pocket, guys. It's on your damn wallet. It's gonna throw your pelvis out of whack. Ladies, the purse is like 100 pounds. You're gonna be like this walking around. It's gonna, just listen. It's little stuff like that. Just wake up one morning with a crick in your neck. That thing's been building up and building up and building up for God knows how long. It just finally hit that point where it's, oh shoot, it's showing up as pain. So like, hey, stop doing whatever you're doing, whatever it might be. Just listen to your body. Super intelligent. Don't forget that.
Okay. I suffer with knee pain. You and I have talked about this, and I've had my one knee replaced. But what do you do when you get to the point that, and I was just telling Jackie this, that when your money just is exhausted, and like you're saying, I need to go to the doctor, I need to talk to him about something else, what else? If you don't have that, yes, you used up all, because I go often enough that I've used up all my money on my flex card, and it's like,
Most of my life I felt like I had my back up against the wall because it was always a just never-ending cycle of having to go constantly. But what I had to learn how to do was plan for it. The year ahead, because you mentioned flexible spending. So in the years before I had my knee replacement, one, I put extra money on my flexible spending. I started cutting from my life in every way I could because I realized that I was my priority. And that meant that things like cable, that had to go because it's like I can give them $170 a month or I can go to my doctor 3 times.
Right.
I'm the most important factor here. Then I started couponing because I had had so many surgeries. By the time I knew for my total knee replacement time came, I was like, I know what happened the previous years. I almost lost everything more than once. But I started couponing and I started stockpiling non-perishable food, paper supplies, and all of that things so that when I was out of work, because I knew I was having 2 surgeries, but it ended up being 3 in that 1 year's time. But because I did that, I didn't have to spend money on just my household needs, because people don't realize when you're out of work, you have more expenses than ever, and you have the absolute lowest income. It's like, so I learned how to, I was like, you know what, I know these things are gonna have to be done, I gotta start planning for it, and I gotta start cutting some things back to the essentials. Yeah, it could be, life would be easier if I had all of these things, it'd be more enjoyable, but I gotta figure out what's my priority, what's urgent versus what's your priority. When you figure out your priorities and then start trying to plan, and we can't plan for everything. It's like, but if we can start, just doing little proactive things along the way, and just something simple about choosing where you shop. I buy good tennis sneakers because I hike, but guess where I get my shoes from? Ross, DSW. I'm not spending $200 on a pair of sneakers. Nobody's. I don't care whose name on it. It's like, but I just had to learn how to be like, what's important to me, and it's like, so I had to cut some things back. And when I know I like wearing dresses in the summertime, I burn Ross up in the spring. I'd be like, Kim, you look great, baby, $10. There it is.
2 ways to make more money.
There it is. You said it earlier.
2 ways to make money. Make more, spend less.
Yes.
So.
That's a great question. There again, just like we plan for vacations and family reunions, you have to plan around your health. The blessing is that you have FSA. So, you know, maybe put a little bit more in, you know, just as a cushion if you feel like something's gonna be going on. But that's a blessing to have that. I have that. It's a wonderful cushion to have. Jonica?
I apologize, I know I'm not on the panel, but however, when we spend, well, we won't say the word we, when someone spends over that amount they put into the flex spending, they do have a tax write-off. So if someone's been chronically ill for a while and they have extensive bills, they need to go back and look at those years to see if they went a certain percentage over the salary. Since I'm not a tax advisor, I'm not gonna say the percentage, but do check with your tax advisor because you do have a certain percentage that you can write off on your taxes to recoup some of that money. And if you go over the flex spending, you do as well. And I did one time. That was from childbearing though.
Thank you, Donna, that was great.
That's
Good information.
I also wanted to mention one more thing because we have a panelist up here that wasn't introduced before. And so I just wanted to introduce her. It's Dion Vine. She's an RN at Duke Raleigh Hospital. And EJ, who is the personal trainer, and then Kimberly Dixon. So I just wanted to mention that. Any other questions?
I just want to touch on what she had. Like, I don't know exactly what if you mean to like going to the doctor or whatever it might be, but to self-educate yourself on, you know, natural alternative remedies that can help with. I'm sure you have already done a lot of that if you've already had knee surgery. But like really diving into that and utilizing these natural ways that are usually a little more not always, but more cost effective, whether it just be heat or ice or the baths, Epsom salt baths or whatever it might be. Things that help decrease inflammation. I don't know if they are. I know she knows them.
I was going to say, can you talk about what some of those?
But like just different things like that. I'm sure you already know a lot of that stuff. But like I would hit those things really hard too, just to help with the pain, whatever's going on. Like I said, I don't know your history at all, but like that's just a
It does
thought.
make you more creative.
For sure.
And can I add to that? When he mentioned alternative and complementary, that made something pop in my mind. What I've learned with all of those is consistency. Ginger and turmeric are some of the best at reducing pain and inflammation. And I swear by them, the benefit that it has. And it's actually gonna have more benefit, not just on your knees and that pain, but every disease in the body is the result of inflammation. So it will show up, even if nothing else but clearer skin.
And Mary Kay.
Mary Kay.
Can't throw that in.
I talked to my primary care physician because my right knee's going to be replaced at the end of November, and I'm having a lot of swelling in my leg, irregardless. And I thought it was probably this tourniquet he puts around my leg. But I asked for help for swelling, and she said, "Well, I can put you on Lasix," and I don't want to go there. So the option was either lemon juice or celery. So lemon juice I thought would corrode my teeth, so I carry this around and snack on it, and I have noticed a marked difference in my swelling. So just celery.
Does anyone know what the benefit of celery is? I'm curious.
Yes, it helps flush the fluid out of the body.
Yeah, it acts like a diuretic.
That's what I read it. Thank you, Anderson.
Also to piggyback off of what Kim was saying with being consistent, be consistent because that's what's going to work best for us. Our body takes time to heal, but also don't try to overstimulate your system with, you know, oh, I'm going to take this and 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 then I should be better, you know. Start with small steps first. Like, okay, let me try this. I'll try it for 4, 6, 8 weeks, and then add to it after that. Don't try to do everything at once because then you're overstimulating your system. It's going to be stressful. It's going to have its counter effects.
Any other questions, comments, feedback?
I passed out. I'm partnering with Biltmore Hills, the City of Raleigh Parks and Recreations. I'm throwing a free basketball clinic this month, October 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Co-ed, boys and girls, ages 8 to 17. So I went around and passed out. I didn't bring as much as I thought I had. Just something free. I also have 2 free personal workouts as well. But since we want to talk about money, I just put 2 free personal workouts. LoveRighteousTraining.com. You can sign up there. But the free clinic is for the kids and just showing a little more love. I know we need some more money, but I got free things and stuff. We're gonna add that out there.
Thank you for that.
LoveRighteousTraining.com. I have cards. I'll pass them out as well.
Thank you for sharing that. Since we're talking about training and exercise, can someone address the benefits of exercise, even when you're in pain? Because I think a lot of times when you're in pain, you don't want to move.
So,
and that may not be the right thing to do. So can we kind of talk about that?
Emotional or physical pain?
Physical pain.
Okay, so depending on your level of pain or your diagnosis, because you have to be clear from a doctor to come to me anyway. So go to your physician. If you're cleared, then we can treat it. And if you're still having, like I work with 2 people with me, because it kind of works. If your knee's messed up, then your hip messed up. And if your hip messed up, your shoulder might give out. So you build these type of strength, by warming up, staying flexible. Flexibility, I do 65% flexibility in all of my workouts. That's mainly what I focus on, and breathe and learning how to breathe. As Kimberly's touched on, she's learned how to relax and breathe. Sometimes we gotta do that going through a lot of pain. Just, stop, mangling in too many areas and just take a step back and breathe and give that brain some oxygen so then you can attack the problem. But that's one of the ways, because normally, like as an athlete, I'm an athlete, been playing basketball my whole life, suffered from meniscus tear, a little research on me, and that enabled me to start helping people to train their body, not, just the hard way, but also be smart and then do it the right way.
Anyone else want to answer?
Yeah, so with movement, so our bodies are designed to move. With moving, you're living, you're creating life, you're enhancing oxygen to your body, and with moving, you're also detoxing your body. So anything with movement, it's good. However, you want to be cautious in how you're moving your body, because you don't want to overexert, because you will. Learning the difference between, I've realized this is the actual thing, learning the difference between something that is painful or something that's pushing you to get stronger. So soreness and pain are 2 different things. In the beginning, you may associate them with the same thing because it's uncomfortable. However, with soreness, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't last as long. You're not gonna injure yourself with soreness. Pain, that's when you stop. So moving your body is always beneficial. If you don't move it, then everything starts to break down. And then there's when you'll see more effects, and you'll have to speak with more licensed people with names and letters after their names.
Just to add on that, because when my knee pain was at its absolute worst, I couldn't walk a quarter of a mile. So exercise was just off the table, any type of it, because usually they'll prescribe walking as a low impact. I couldn't walk. But what I did do was I stretched every day, and that meant sometimes I had to roll myself off the couch, and then I had to pull myself back up. But I stretched every day, day in and day out. And when I went to physical therapy, that is what that saved me. And even now when I'm working out with my trainer, he's like, Kim, you're flexible. I don't know what you've been doing. He's like, but you are flexible. And it's like, and that's what has kept you on your feet as long as that. When those doctors were saying, I don't understand how you're still walking, it's like it was my flexibility.
That's key.
It's like, so if you're in pain, if you can't do anything but stretch, I encourage you to move every day. Our bodies get tight, our muscles shorten, they ball up in knots. You end up with trigger points everywhere. But if you can keep those muscles lengthened out and flexible, then you're doing yourself a huge favor.
So adding to that, sorry, were you going to say something?
And I saw you, blessed for you.
Thank you.
The first thing we started losing is the first thing we started doing is as kids, as a baby, you know how babies put their feet in their mouth and do all of this. we are so flexible when we come out. The first thing we start losing is flexibility. So you have, like I said, my workouts are 65% flexibility. It's all stretching, a little bit of strength depending on, you want your core, a little, gluteus maximize, or you want the arms tighten up by 60, because your body is 63 to 70% water. So make sure you have enough water and diet.
All right. That's excellent information. And to add on to that, how we talk about movement, you can't judge how you move to someone else's, because each path, each person, each body is designed amazingly different. And you can't judge Kim's hiking, walking, movement, stretching with anybody else in here. You can't look at a marathon runner and say, oh, I'm going to do that tomorrow, because that's not how we're designed. So even if I say movement as, you're sitting on the couch and you just start raising and lowering your leg, doing something like that. If you're standing and you're just adding, like, oh, let me just do standing on my toes, stretching out your calves like that. Small, simple movements, that's even adding movement. And so any small steps, they begin to add up and increasing. I'll start to notice, oh, my legs feel stronger. Like, I didn't even realize that this was happening. But over time, you'll start to feel these little differences, and you'll want to do more, and you'll be able to do more. And they're also adding, I get upset, but whatever, it's not my so my background is in kinesiology. And I've been talking about movement and moving my entire life. And when I had to read the book about how movement is actually being prescribed by doctors now, I felt offended. Because movement as medicine is a thing. So they're writing prescriptions for moving, I guess. Moving. Wow. Yeah, so I felt offended by it because it's something that we naturally do. And now for it to have been preached so much and to have a medical doctor have to tell you that you have to do it now because it's important. It takes me to a different place but yeah, so any type of movement, anything, stretching, flexing your feet, lifting your legs, anything, just increasing that blood flow, increasing that oxygen, flushing out your lymphatic system, drinking more water. Small things are definitely big steps.
Very good. And I don't know how many of you all stand in line at the grocery store. Well, instead of just standing there.
Exactly. Use your cart.
It may look weird, but I do it all the time. I don't care now,
I pride myself on being unique.
So just think, you can park a little bit further away from the store when you go. You can always take the steps, which most people don't like, but it's movement. So just keep in mind those small things. We have a question?
I'm going to try to form it in the form of a question. It's not going to sound like a question. You can't just share the information that you're inspired to share about what I'm getting ready to say. Especially because this is Kimberly Dixon's event and because I know her passion. And I'll testify about you all day, but I'm going to try not to cry up here. But we are talking a lot about the physical pain. But earlier, Kimberly was talking about the pain of your heart, the pain of your mind, how it's all tied together. And even if you work out all day, if you're hurting on the inside, you're just going to re-tense up anyway. So Kimberly has Balanced Life. Is also a service that she provides where she does guided meditations, which really work on you from the inside out. And I am blessed to be one of her clients. And it's really different. I don't know if you've ever tried guided meditation of any sort. People hear meditation, and of course, they think a whole different thing. But without putting any religious or spiritual thing on it, it's just a very necessary, I think, thing for your personal being, for your self-care. And Kimberly is great because she personalizes it. So if you've never experienced it, you need to experience it. I know she does mini ones, so you might want to try that. But there's something about being worked on from the inside out that you don't even realize is necessary, because there is a physical thing that happens because she does relax you. And so you're not working out, and anybody can do it because you're not going to, gym requiring extra pressure on yourself. It's amazing just letting your mind go certain places, what it does to your physical body. So Kimberly, I guess one of my questions I would like you to address to the audience is the actual benefit of your guided meditations and what that does for your pain management and how that does heal or help to heal part of what's going on from the inside out.
Well, meditation has so many different benefits. I mean, it just, and Krishana, you can jump in here because I know you know too, but it goes across the board. First of all, simply the breathing and relaxing the body, that's you're releasing tension from, because what she mentioned, I walk you through relaxing you from your actual scalp to your toes, and then we go into taking you to Fiji or to the mountaintop or wherever we want. We go all over the world in our guided meditations. But some of just, the scientific benefits of it is that it creates clarity. The deep breathing is just giving yourself a moment to let go of everything that's going on in your day. And when you get that kind of clarity, you can make better decisions. And when you practice meditation day or month, week after week, then you start to see it multiplying in your life, the sound decisions that you're making because you're thinking clearly. Because it's what most of us do. We multitask. And some of us pride ourselves on being multitaskers. But the truth is that you lose so much cognitive abilities and knowledge when you multitask. There, a Harvard professor, he used to teach the happiness class, Dr. Ben Shahar. When we are multitasking, it's the equivalent. I cannot speak today. What is it? It is the equivalent of going 3 days without sleep. It's like, but when we start being intentional about our breathing and doing things such as meditation, then we get more clarity and we learn to pause. Something that I do in my hiking and the meditation group is I remind them every day, look up. When was the last time one of you guys went outside and looked up at the sky? Every day. Well, some y'all the ones that y'all but we don't do it on a day-to-day basis. We're in such a hurry. We just run out of the house, go to our job, we look up, we look around, but we don't ever look up. It's like, but if you just pause during the course of your day and breathe, then you can make some sound decisions. And whatever Sheila did at work, you might not cut her. You can be like, because you have it, so it gives you clarity. It gives you a sense of well-being. It gives you better oxygen. Your body's getting better oxygenated, so your organs are functioning better because we breathe to live. We breathe to live. Stop breathing and see what happens to you. It's like, but most of us, we're not breathing fully anyway. Krishana, you know that we shallow breathers. So when we're upset, what we do is suck our breath in when we actually should be taking a fuller breath, a belly breath, using our diaphragm.
So I was going to say, because people may be thinking, I'm breathing all the time. So can you explain that when you're saying we need to be breathing? I know what it means, but there may be someone in the room that doesn't, and like, I'm breathing. What are you talking about?
Well, we're breathing because we're all sitting upright, and I'm glad to say that because we haven't had to call the ambulance. But we're not breathing to our full ability because if we're slouched over, our lungs are compressed. We're not getting the oxygen that we need. We're not breathing correctly. When we're doing meditation, we're just doing slow breathing and focusing on the breathing, but we should be using diaphragmatic breathing, which is breathing from your belly. And that's the type of breathing that you do doing yoga and other activities. But it allows the bloodstream to be oxygenated, and that gets oxygen to your brain. So we're walking around oxygen deprived. No wonder we make some of the decisions that we make. And no wonder that chronic illnesses are on the rise. It's like because we're not taking the time and putting the self-care into something as simple as breathing. The first thing God did was to breathe the breath of life into Adam's nostril. That's like, but that's the last thing we do when we're upset, when that's what we should be doing. That's like, so, if you just, and I wish Kimberly was still here, she would give a testimony of just, the things that happen when you start being intentional about how you breathe. I recommend to people when they get up in the morning to take 3 full deep breaths. Don't say nothing to nobody, don't do anything. Just, if you're not into meditating yet, take 3 full breaths in the morning. Do it at lunchtime. Do it in the evening time before you go in the house or once you're done working, before you interact with anybody. Because what it allows you to do is let go of things that happened early in the day, and now I can go in and be present with my family. But otherwise, I go in the door and I'm carrying all the bags from everything that happened to me when I stepped out the door this morning and it was raining, which to me, I love it when it rains, I'm looking up. But when we're carrying all of this stress from the person that cut us off at 8:10 this morning, it's 8:10 tonight. But we haven't let anything go. So now we're going to bed carrying all of that stuff. But if you start breathing and letting some of that stuff go, then you'll feel better. Two, your body is being oxygenated. Y'all stop, tell me stop using words I know I
You have more options.
Thank you, cousin.
You're welcome.
But, you know, just, it reduces stress, it creates more clarity, just a host of benefits. It helps you sleep better at night. Have you been noticing any changes in your life, Tara?
Yes.
Yeah.
One, part of it, look, I didn't even know what to address first on the yes. It was just a big fat yes. Because like I said, it's so personalized, which I really want to stress that that's the difference. Because there's guided meditations on YouTube, you can listen to that kind of thing. But when it's personalized, it's relatable to you. So if you like fall, which I do, and rain, which I love, and she takes me somewhere that's cool and I'm the leaf floating
She don't
and
like
whatever.
me. I don't take her.
She don't take me nowhere hot. We covered that first. Like, look, I was on the beach. I was not relaxing. I was hot. Don't take me nowhere hot. So now I go to lovely places. Okay, I'm in Italy at a cafe. I can smell the coffee because that's my thing. So anyway, so in real life though, I posted it on Facebook the other day. I walked outside. It was like fall outside. I said, "Woo, I feel like a limp wet noodle," which is something she says when she relaxes you. It's like you feel like a limp wet noodle. So now it's part of my language because I now. Not that I didn't before, but I'm more conscious of what I enjoy just living. I didn't pay for it. I just walked outside. It was fresh air. I'm like, you love this. Take a moment and love this. And Kim pops in your brain with stuff because it's like you don't even take the time. Like usually if you're stressed, you just walk to the car. It's like, oh, you feel nice. But I was like, woo. I feel good. And there's certain things you can call up on a day. If I'm stressed, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, where's the Italians that was surfing at And it's just moments. So that's the biggest difference that I notice. And like when I know I'm going to get someone quiet, I'm like, you know what, are you breathing? Especially if you're in a car driving. You're in a car driving, you feel like you're monoto. I actually have to go, and this is when I actually was dying, like had my medical issues. And I'd be so sleepy driving. I'm like, you're not breathing, idiot. Like you're not breathing. Like you're in a car driving, you paying attention to everything else. And I'm like, I'm not breathing right. No, we're not about to pass out. I'm tired. What you got, Joe?
So,
We got time for just one more comment.
so
Then we gotta.
Kimberly, you did well with your weight. So, did you find yourself, as you did more stretching, you always meditated and all that. Did any of that control your appetite and the deep breathing? Doesn't that burn calories or is that a figment of my mind?
Well, I mean, everything burns calories, but I can't say it's enough that will add up to anything. You're like, I'm gonna sit here and breathe good for 30 minutes. And that's my exercise for the day. No, it don't work like that.
The stretching,
You have to brave up to a millennium and be like, oh, that's 1 pound.
But stretching and the yoga and all that, because some people realize that they can't lift the weights, they're not gonna be able to run a marathon. I can run a marathon, but I don't want to. The yoga, the stretching, and all that. Did that help you maintain your weight?
It helped me maintain my
control
weight.
of the appetite.
Well, you know, after one of those surgeries in 2010, I went through a real period of depression and I gained like 50 pounds. But when it comes to like what I'm doing actively now, that if I find myself like I'm just ravished and you know that's when you want to really just get down with it, I will take 10 minutes to just do some breathing. And I was like, because that will decrease my appetite, it'll get me focused again so that I can eat with some sense. Because otherwise, you know, it's like, I don't do fast food. I ain't done fast food in years. Number one, I don't like none of it, so that's a good deterrent. But you know, still, even if it's healthy food, you don't want to just, our portions, we're eating to it. And I'm like, I know this big girl ain't telling me y'all used to weigh 357 pounds. But that's another story. But portion control, that is a huge factor in losing weight. So for me, when I know that I'm really, really hungry and I'm just really like, okay, give me that. Yeah, I want all of that. I know if I slow down and if I breathe some, then I can make some logical choices that are some food that's gonna nourish my body and not just fill it up.
And are there foods we shouldn't eat that would increase inflammation and whatnot? Because a lot of people are not thinking about the breathing, the exercising, and the foods we shouldn't be eating.
Fast food, packaged food, fried food, sugary food. This is
what
the thing.
about soy milk and stuff? Is that good for people? Soy milk?
So here's the thing with weight loss for me. Like Kim's lost
Weight loss and inflammation.
Sure. Okay. Weight loss and inflammation. Sure. You know, I used to weigh 275 pounds, so I used to be a hefty guy. But like, a lot of it is all about your diet and what you take in. And yeah, you gotta move, but you don't have to move as much as you think you have to move to lose weight. You can work out too much, putting way too much stress in your body, and you're gonna continue to gain weight because your body's unable to take in those healthy foods you're putting in there. So for me, a lot of it's all about the diet, the stuff, the things that you're putting into the body. Krishana, I haven't worked out a lick in like 3 years probably or more.
And I don't encourage that
But,
behavior.
but listen, I've gained a little, but like, I haven't gained all that weight back because I still continue to eat pretty much the same as I did when I was losing the weight.
How's your emotional health?
I do a lot of different things though, with breathing, I do a lot of, I do breath work every morning, so like I do a lot of those inner things as well. But I know for sure when I do work out, I feel like a badass, like I'm ready to go for the day. The whole mindset, it really does. So for me, what I tell people is instead of, when you go to the grocery store, just walk around the outside, stay away from the inside. Everything on the inside is bad for the most part. Walk around the outside, I try to stay away from the dairy also. That doesn't mean eggs are cool. Stay away from the cow's milk, the cheese. I love cheese, and it's hard. So like, just try to stay on the outside of the grocery store.
I mean, think about like.
I never thought about that either.
If you want like, who wants to eat food to nourish? We eat to be nourished. We don't live to eat. We eat to survive and sustain ourselves. So if we're eating things that can't nourish us, i.e. food that was manufactured in someone's factory, God knows where. How do we think that's building our systems to thrive?
If a food has a shelf life for 2 years, you really want that in your body?
And a list of things you can't pronounce.
I would like to add on to this, that it's a lot of emotional eating. I know women, y'all have y'all times, and you know, that time of the month, eat, you know, but that's when y'all that's when, you know, y'all sitting there and y'all get emotional. So, being aware, why we all here, spiritual, Peter's out here on this panel, is to be aware of our emotions and take control of having the ability to respond. Responsibility, the ability to respond. Responsibility. That's what it's all about. So if you control your mind and condition that to keep creating new habits, to do things the right way, sky is the limit.
And that'll reduce pain.
That'll reduce a lot.
Thank y'all, good stuff.
I just want to say one quick thing. I know you meal prep. That's one thing I found that helped me stop emotionally eating was meal prep the correct food. Some people's like, I don't like leftovers. Well, think of it like this. What I do on Sundays, I'll go to the grocery store, I'll cook everything, pack it up, put in the refrigerator. I got lunch for every day. And I may even do my little breakfast. So when I'm like, oh God, I'm hungry, what am I going to eat? I'm not running to get my Snickers or
money.
Yeah, save time, saves a lot of money that he's talking about. Just reach in your freezer or your refrigerator and pull out the little egg muffin you just made, the omelet you just made Monday, and store it in the microwave for 10 seconds. You got breakfast running out the door.
And
So,
to add quickly onto that as well, drinking water. A lot of times, we haven't evolved enough to realize that we're thirsty before we're dehydrated. And so in our bodies, dehydration and hunger have the same correlation. So a lot of times you may think you're hungry when you're actually dehydrated. So drinking water before you eat anything is, you'll probably realize, oh, I'm not even hungry, I was so thirsty.
Yeah,
Do you want to add anything?
I do. The thing that I want to add, I don't want us to forget about the ginger and the turmeric. And also keep a food diary. Everyone has different triggers. You may not have an allergy, but you may have a food sensitivity. So think about your carbohydrates, think about insulin resistance, think about pre-diabetic. I'm quite sure some people have probably heard those words from their physicians. But keep a food diary. Remember, everything starts in your gut. If you're not feeding yourself the proper food, you're going to get an improper response. So what triggers me is going to be different than what triggers Christiana or our friend down here. So just think about ginger and turmeric is our anti-inflammatory agents, and the best way you can get them is in the root form. Kroger's, Whole Foods, Sprouts.
Market.
And the best way to get it is in a smoothie. If you can just make that, and that will start, and everything, you can't do one without the other. These things are in conjunction. Eat right, stretch, exercise, drink plenty of water, clear your mind. It all works together. So and just be persistent, and remember, consistency breeds excellence.
Well, a huge thank you to our panel. I don't know about y'all, but that was very insightful. So we thank you so much for joining us and for your resources and tips and information. And thank you to our audience for being with us on this rainy afternoon. You could be anywhere, probably on your couch resting, but you're here getting this good information. So we thank you so much for being here with us. Please stay plugged in with Joyful Kim and EJ and Krishana and Dion. I know that you can follow Kim and the doctors on Facebook and Instagram.
Not that one, she don't get on Facebook.
Oh, Instagram. Social media.
She got a page, she got a page.
You're better at Instagram.
So just plug into them so you can kind of stay connected with what they do. And can you say your, EJ, can you say your website again? So we can
LoveRighteousTraining.com is my website. On Facebook, it's Righteous Personal Training.
Okay. Thank you.
On Instagram,
Oh, that's right. He has cards.
Instagram is Love Righteous Training as well, and my personal Instagram is righteous_e.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you, Kim, for having us again. We appreciate it. All right. Go in peace.